is emerging on the face of the earth. A new human. An infinite human. And that human is you. Welcome to the Infinite Human Talk Show with your host, Elizabeth Monroy.
Hello, my divine, infinite human family. You're all that is, ever has been, and ever shall be. And it is Easter Sunday here in Castellammare, Sicily. And I wanted to do a quick video about true spirituality, all right? Now, I did one on Good Friday about the three Christs, which is very interesting if you want to know a little bit more about the true history of our planet. And if you don't know who I am, I'm Elizabeth Monroy. I'm the author of The Infinite Human and Ascension Guide for Star Seeds, Twin Souls, and Awakening My Infinite Humans, who are the co-creators of the new 5D Earth. And now, I want to talk about judgment. This is really all about judgment because we're at a really pivotal time, and a lot of star seeds have incarnated to be the change. But one of the problems I see in spiritual communities, perhaps above all other ones, is we have this "my poo-poo doesn't stink" kind of, I write about it in the book, but we have this very judgmental attitude. And I grew up, my father was a minister who really didn't believe in religion, so I was very fortunate, but everyone in my family, including my uncle, and was religious. My uncle was a minister, my cousin's a minister, I was always around good church-going folk. And actually, I found them less judgmental than the spiritual communities, of the Ascension, the New Age, whatever. But there was always this, holier than thou, this pious kind of attitude, and, I'm so pious because I do this. And a lot of it has to do with, this victimizer, this suffering, this martyrdom that I talked about on Good Friday, the fact that the Christ that got into the Bible was the third Christ, not really the right Christ. He wasn't the 12D Avatar, Yeshua, who really did save the planet through his holding the correct templates. All right, so if there's a lot of people walking around, I think in the New Age movement or the Ascension movement now it's become, who are like, I have 12 strands of DNA, I'm just so spiritual. And first of all, if you had 12 strands of DNA, you probably wouldn't be allowed to be on this planet because you would be able to, start fires and control electricity and, have such power. And a lot of people want those 12 strands, which is coming, but they're not able to because your thoughts manifest immediately. And if you have one thought of, oh, I hate that person, I'm going to kill him, boom. So, it's actually a good design because as you ascend, and I'll tell you exactly what ascension is in a minute because it's not really what we think it is. Yes, there is it's good to understand the ascension mechanics, the divine blueprint, the holographic divine blueprint of our universe, and, the mathematical, geometrical, infinite patterns that lead you back to source and breathe and, come in and come out. And to understand that we have been in a finite matrix, a fallen matrix of, sacred geometry, which is not really sacred geometry, it's really a finite prison that has encapsulated our template, our, 12-stranded Cathar grid template, as well as the planets. And we are deeply related to the planet, which is why they keep wanting to get us off the planet. But to go back to true ascension is rising above duality. And it's no coincidence that I'm broadcasting to you here from Sicily. Sicily is the sacred alchemical triangle. And I happen to be in the apex of the triangle, Trapani, this region, which is rising above duality. All right, so many of you have awakened during the pandemic, and I think it was very important because people were becoming aware of the darkness, the chiaroscuro, and there's always been this light and dark play throughout history on our planet, and there have been Orpheans or starseeds who have been plants who have come to be the balance, okay? When the dark side starts some really bad agenda, there's always a burst of energy that helps to awaken those plants of us, so we can do the opposite, okay? In the world of duality, and that's very key. So, it's getting windy here. So, that's what happened, and I was very, very outspoken because I had the ticket to be outspoken because they were requiring me to be axed, by law. And so that was my call, that was my time, that was my permission slip to stand up and speak out against this. And I spoke out because I chose with my free will not to be part of this agenda. And as a result, many people heard my voice here in Italy where it first started. And, I developed a nice network of people. Thank you. My Divine Infant family, and a lot of beautiful things came. But I also did kind of martyr myself because I put myself, I had an accident. I had a lot of, it's in my book, The Infinite Human. I was operated on by a surgeon named DARPA. I almost died and everything. But that was part of my journey. That was part of my own martyrdom, putting down the cross. And I would never steal that from someone because many of us need to finish that story. It's like when you're watching a movie, you might even hate the movie, but you just have to finish it. You have to see what happens to the characters. You have to let it run its course. You have to do it. And many of us have been martyrs, all right? Martyrs. Because that's really in our genes, to be a martyr. We've sacrificed ourselves throughout the ages for the good cause, the good fight. And we have been the light in the darkness. And we've had to maintain that balance, of good and bad. So we've been the good force, so we've fought against the bad. We've been the warriors, we've been the light warriors. All right, and so there's nothing wrong with that because at the time it was needed. And hello, my divine, infinite human family. You're all that is, ever has been, and ever shall be. And my video got cut off, so I'll start again. And I'm talking about true ascension, all right? Ascending beyond duality, ascending beyond judgment, which is something that is very much needed. I think these words need to be heard in our ascending communities because unfortunately, due to our programming, spiritual people have become very, very judgmental. And that is not what true ascension is about, all right? It's respecting everyone's free will and understanding that everybody's running their stories at their own pace, their own time, their own rhythm, and they have the free will to run it out. It's pouring down rain.